Hey guys, how's it going? It's BaseBoy5 from Not Cheese TV. I just want to make this video. First of all, I want to say that I'm not quitting painting. I just want to talk about the instance of people quitting painting. So don't worry, I'm not. I'd like to talk about first off the first time I actually quit painting, because the first time I made a stencil was my freshman year in high school. So, or actually before that, it was 8th grade was the first time I ever made a stencil. It was a one layer of Snoop Dogg, and I put chalk over it, like crushed up chalk. I did it on my garage floor in this house that we had in Sacramento, and then we couldn't get it off. It was like stained in the concrete, so I thought that was kind of funny. So that house is forever gonna have Snoop Dogg's face stenciled in the back of the garage. So the first time I made a stencil was in 8th grade. After that, I made just like a few one layers here and there. Like, I mean, it'd be like months in between time. It's just like, I don't know, it was just kind of something to do, I guess. Not really. It was weird. Like, I'd rarely ever make stencils. So, and they were all only one layers. I never did multi-layers. And then freshman year, I tried my first multi-layer stencil. And what happened was, I had no paint, but I cut out a pretty large stencil, and I had the stencil. I was like, I really want to see what it's going to look like if I were to spray it. But I had no paint, so I just got markers, and I set down the stencils. And, I traced out all the cutouts, and I colored it all in and everything. And it looked like complete shit. It just looked like garbage. And right after I made that, I just stopped. I'm never going to make another multi-layered stencil again. Because it was so frustrating to have cut out stencils for I don't know how long. Like, it took the majority of the day, and I was only a freshman, so my attention span was a lot shorter back then. Okay, so cutting out a stencil for the majority of the day back then was like, it was interminable. It never ended. It was the worst. So then when I put all that effort into it, and then I went to see the final product, which is when all your work's supposed to pay off, it didn't pay off at all, and I got really mad and upset. And the reason why it didn't work is because I broke a lot of the laws of stenciling or multi-layered stencils, where first of all, I was using just random colors for the markers, and the colors had to progressively get lighter. And since I was using markers, no matter what color marker you put over another marker, it's going to get darker. So, I mean, if you put yellow after orange, it's going to be a darker orange, not a lighter color. It's kind of how it works. So, and they were like Crayola markers or something cheap. And so, finally, senior year, I think was the next time I made a stencil. I made a single layer, like 1 or 2 maybe during the year. And then there was this one girl who was really she was kind of into art. She's like a hipster. She wanted me to make stencils, so she kind of got me into it, or kind of motivated me to do it. So then I made these 2 stencils, and then after that, okay, that's kind of fun. I figured out a process that kind of works a little bit better, and then I made a 3-layer, because 2 layers are pretty easy. 1 layer is the easiest. 2-layer, I mean, it's almost the same as a 1-layer. But a 3-layer, that's when things get a little tricky. So I did a 3-layer, and it actually turned out alright. So then I built up a little confidence, and then from that point on, just making them just about once a week. I'd make a painting, and then I would post them on Facebook, and people would be like, "Oh, it's cool," and everything. And then people eventually started wanting to buy it and get custom orders and stuff like that. So it kind of just took off from there. But the whole thing is if I had not just given up, because I think everyone's going to fail probably their first time. There's a lot of things that you just learn through experience. And since I already taught you guys from my experiences, you already know them. But if you try learning through your own experiences, I mean, of course you're going to make mistakes. That happens with anything. So this video is just kind of tell you, if you tried multi-layered stencils, and it didn't come out how you wanted it, and you're really upset, or if it just completely, especially if it came out completely wrong, that's actually a good sign. It usually means that you only made one mistake. It could be like a combination of one or two, but if it comes out completely, doesn't look anything like how you were expecting it to, then you probably made one mistake. It was probably a simple mistake in the ordering or the colors that you use, something like that. So, first of all, if you ever make mistakes like that and it's really discouraging, go ahead and comment me, message me, or whatever. Show me the picture, tell me what you did, and I'll tell you what you did wrong, and then you can go from there. But anyways, the point is you have to be able to kind of understand that that's just part of the learning process. And once you learn how to stencil, you got it, pretty much. It's just, from that point on, it just depends on how much determination you have, how much patience you have, especially patience. Patience is the most key, important point in making multi-layered stencils. Is the more patience you have, the better your paintings come out. And I mean, that transfers over to a lot of different things as well, but especially with multi-layered stencils, because you're sitting there cutting, and then you never really get to see what you make until the very end. So it's hard to be patient and just understand, okay, cut every single little piece out and it'll look better, even though you just want to get it done so you can see it. But yeah, just the purpose of this video, like I said, is just work through your mistakes, and when you make a mistake and something just turns out completely wrong like the painting does, then just, you know, keep trying, try it again, try something else, experiment, trial and error. I mean, I got to where I am now from trial and error. I didn't really have many tutorials to look up at, so it's just trial and error and you'll get there. Especially if you watch my tutorials, they'll help out a lot, because I cover a lot of the things that I struggled the most with learning how to do. So if you at least learn that stuff, then I mean, you're halfway there. And then also, I'm going to put a few pictures in here, and I want you guys to look to see where I got, pretty much, or I want to show you my progression in the beginning. Because you'll see, in the beginning, I progress pretty quickly, and that's how all stencil artists are pretty much going to go. Their first 10 paintings, there's probably going to be the most amount of difference if they're trying to get better. That's, I know it's like, of course they're trying to get better, but each painting, you'll make a painting and you'll learn, okay, I did this wrong on it, so I'm going to try fixing it next time I make this painting. So if they're consciously trying to make each painting better, you'll see in the first 10 paintings, there'll be dramatic difference pretty much. And you'll see by that 10th painting, they're a good distance away from where they were at that first painting. Because it's just, you know, making those mistakes, learning from them, and gets you where you are. So, but the main message with this whole video is just don't give up when you make one of those first mistakes, because it's bound to happen and it will happen. And in the comments, I would like all the people who have started making paintings, just chime in if you have made a mistake like that yet, or if like on your first or second painting there was like a major mistake. Go ahead and just mention it, just any sort of thing. You don't have to be specific with it, just like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, I've had that before, and just hopefully, because I want to see like how many people have also had like these major mistakes in their first couple of paintings or their first painting, and then hopefully the newer people can see that and understand that it's like a, you know, it's a common thing. So hopefully it is a common thing. I'm not the only one that just made major mistakes. But also, if you'd like to mention how helpful my tutorials are, that'd be nice as well. But yeah, this video is as long as it needs to be, so I'm gonna cut it off now. So keep making paintings, guys. I'm gonna keep making paintings, and let's all post them up so everyone can see. Later.